Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is put in the meat in there. Okay. Throw the eggs. Dry breadcrumbs, it becomes very hard. What you do is just dip it in bread and then squeeze it just to get the water out. If you want, I'll show you. And then just take it apart and make it into small little pieces. Here, I'll show you. Here's a bowl. I'm just going to stick it in there and just squeeze the water out and just put a little, and then break it up into little pieces. What this does is, by using this method, makes the meatball not as heavy and light. I like it better than just using dry breadcrumbs. Another thing you can do is, if you're going to use dry breadcrumbs, you can add some water into the meat. Add about a quarter cup of water into the meat and then just let it sit before you make the meatballs. This way it gets soaked up by the dry breadcrumbs. Two more. Thing, it just adds water. And well, actually this breadcrumbs. Okay, now that I'm going to mix it. Okay, now before I finish mixing it, there's one ingredient that I didn't show you. Is because we got to add back black pepper to this. And the pepper I have, you have to grind it. Okay, the reason why I didn't show you the thing is because I like to grind my pepper fresh. Okay? I don't use a lot of pepper, just a little bit. Make some more. It's getting there. I gotta mix it pretty good because I want the breadcrumbs to come, like especially the American breadcrumbs, I want to mix all the way through it. Otherwise you're gonna get stuck with chunks of breadcrumbs. Picky, quiet, like crazy. Okay, now that I made it, I'm going to make like a small meatball and then put it in the oil and fry it up just to see what it tastes like, okay? And just to make sure if it needs more salt or seasoning. I'll be back. I'll let you see it when it's done. Okay, it's about 6-7 minutes later. Since this is small meatball, it's done. You can tell by looking at it. I'm just going to let it sit here and drain the oil. for a couple minutes, and the next step is I'm going to taste it to see how it tastes. Okay, let's see how it tastes like. Here's the meatball. Nice and hot. Good. So the next step is to make the meatballs. Okay, now I'm going to make the meatballs. You can make them whatever size you want. Usually what I do is I use the same recipe for all kinds of meatballs. These are going to be about I'd say, I don't know, I'd say about 1.5 inches round. And the reason why I'm making them this big is because they're going to be in tomato sauce. Sometimes when I make them small, like the one I use for tasting. That's mostly for sweet and sour meatballs. I like using the meatball mix and do it the Italian way instead of the Filipino way. My wife's Filipino. For making meatballs, when I do sweet and sour meatballs, is because when I make them, if you do it the Filipino way, you're supposed to just use pork. If you come out with just pork, they come out a little heavy. So it takes some time for the deep fryer basket that I have can hold. And then while the 8 or 9 are frying, cream scoop, the old-fashioned type ice cream scoops, and scoop it up, and then they'll be all perfect, the same size. You just roll them around in your hand until they get round. That's all. Two more. If I'm just making tomato sauce for me and my wife, I just use a few of these. But this is going to be for a party that we're going, so I'm going to put in a couple more meatballs extra. I put them in this thing. Okay. There you go. Now I put them in the fryer. And usually they stay in the fryer. I do it by the outside. When I get to the color like this one is right here, then it's done for tomato sauce. But if you're gonna go just eat them plain without putting them on tomato sauce, then you gotta cook them for at least about 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, bye-bye for now. I'll turn it back on when they're done. Okay, these are done. Since I'm going to be putting them in tomato sauce, that's all they have to be. They're probably not cooked all the way through the inside. What you got to do is cook it a little longer if you want to cook them to the outside. So I'm going to let them drain, and then I'll put more meatballs in here. Come on. Here's batch number 2. Okay, these are about done now. Usually what I do is after I take them out of the oil, I just put them like this and let them drain here for a while. And then after that, I just put them on paper towels. Okay, what I do is I put them on a paper towel and let them sit for a while to drain the rest of the oil. And this way I can freeze the basket so I can fry some more. And that's how I make the meatballs, basically. Like I said, these are okay. I didn't cook them enough. I don't like to cook them all too much because I'm going to be putting these in tomato sauce. And they're going to cook in the tomato sauce for a couple hours, so they're probably a little rare on the inside. Usually, if I make them in sweet and sour meatballs, what I do is I make them a lot smaller and they get cooked on the inside anyway. And that's it. And the next thing I'll show you is what they look like when they're all done. There you go. They're all finished. When I'm going to make the tomato sauce, I'm not going to use all of them. So what I usually do is whatever I have left over, I freeze, and the next time I make tomato sauce, I can use them. That's why I do about 1.5 pounds. Normally I would just do about 1 pound because about 1/2 pound is what I put in tomato sauce. I put a lot of other stuff in there besides meatballs. I put sausage, and I also like to put spare ribs in my tomato sauce. I think it makes it taste better. You can put things like chicken and tomato sauce. There's all sorts of stuff you can put in there. But that's it for the meatballs.